Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am your teacher Naveed Anjum Naveed with another lesson of grammar. Today our topic is adjective. So let's begin with the definition. Adjectives are the words used to modify nouns or pronouns. Just like classification, we'll also use this term modification again and again in our grammar lessons. So let me explain the term. Modification or to modify means to add something to the meaning of a word. When a word modifies another word, it adds something to the meaning of that word. It tells us something more about that word. It gives more information about that word. This is how words modify other words in language. Now let's have examples. Alim is a nice boy. It's a very simple subject-verb complement sentence. Alim is the subject, is linking verb, and a nice boy complement or subjective complement. In the complement, boy is a noun, and the word nice tells us something about the noun boy. It tells us a quality of the noun, so it's modifying the noun, it's adjective. The next example, he is intelligent. This sentence is also an SVC sentence, subject verb complement. He is the subject, is linking verb, and intelligent complement. And the complement of this sentence consists of an adjective instead of a noun. Intelligent is a word which tells us the quality of a noun, but there is no noun here. Intelligent as an adjective, as a noun modifier, is modifying he. He is a word that has been used in place of a noun here. It's a pronoun. So adjectives can modify nouns and pronouns both, because pronouns, which are the words used in place of nouns, have all the characteristics of nouns. It is a characteristic of noun to be modified by an adjective, and pronouns have this characteristic. Just like nouns, they can be modified by adjectives. So adjectives can modify both nouns and pronouns. Let's start classification of adjective. The first type is adjective of quality. As the name suggests, they tell us the quality of a noun. They are by far the largest group of adjectives. When you were students of primary school, in all probability, the first thing that you learned about adjectives was that they tell us the qualities of nouns. But the words indicating qualities of nouns are just one type of adjective. Let's have examples. Clean, cold, hot, tall, short, beautiful, remarkable, funny, happy. All these words indicate qualities of nouns. So they are all adjectives of quality. The next type is adjectives of quantity. The name indicates that they must be telling us quantities. They tell us the quantity of an uncountable noun, because it's the uncountable nouns which are measured. The countable nouns are counted. A few examples are some, little, more. The condition is that these words should be used with nouns which are measured. The names of things which are measured, and such things are, the names of such things are uncountable nouns. When I say some milk, some water, some butter, this word some indicates the quantities of these nouns. Contrary to the adjectives of quantity, adjectives of number tell us the number of countable nouns. They are used with countable nouns. They tell us the number of a countable noun. Let's have examples. Some, many, few, more, one, two, first, second, next, previous. Whenever these words are used with countable nouns, you must have seen that some of the examples were there under adjective of quantity also. Some and more. They have been repeated. Why have they been repeated? It depends on the noun with which these words are used, whether to call them adjectives of quantity or adjective of number. When the same word some is used With an uncountable noun, it becomes an adjective of quantity. In some milk or some butter or some sugar, some is adjective of quantity. But in some students, some boys, some apples, some is adjective of number, because now the nouns with which this word is being used are countable. All the number terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are cardinal numbers, and first, second, third, next, previous, they are ordinal numbers. Whenever they are used with nouns to count them, they are adjectives of number. The next type is proper adjective. They are made out of proper nouns. Examples are Chinese in Chinese food, Pakistani music, Victorian era. Proper adjectives are made out of the names of countries, the names of cities, the names of famous personalities, etc. Like Victorian is from Queen Victoria, Chinese is from the country China, Pakistani from Pakistan. Remember that the same words can be used as nouns also. When I say, I met a Chinese in the park, or I am a Pakistani, I'm using both these words as nouns. So it will depend on the way they've been used. Whenever these words, these terms coined out of proper nouns, whenever they are used with other nouns to modify them as noun modifiers, only then we'll call them proper adjectives. Not in every context. The context matters here. Chinese in Chinese food is a proper adjective. But there were 3 Chinese in the ground. Now Chinese has become a noun. So beware. The next type is interrogative adjective. Question words used with nouns to ask questions about them are called interrogative adjectives. Let's have examples. Which road? Whose car? What house? The words in yellow font in these examples are interrogative adjectives because they have been used with nouns to ask questions about them. Which is asking a question about the road. Whose? About the car. What? About the house. Whose? You must have noticed is in possessive case. It's a possessive case of pronoun who. And nouns and pronouns of any kind, whenever they are used in possessive case, they are always noun modifiers. So you can call them adjectives also. For further details and for comparison with interrogative pronouns, you must listen to my lecture on interrogative pronouns. Some types of adjectives like relative adjectives, distributive adjectives, and demonstrative adjectives have been dealt with the relevant types of pronouns. And for them, you'll have to listen to my lectures on pronouns. We'll now have a comparison between attributive and predicative adjectives. These are not separate types of adjectives. It's the position of the adjective with reference to the noun it modifies that determines whether to call it attributive or predicative adjective. When the adjective comes before the noun it modifies, it's attributive. And when it comes after the noun, when it's a part of the predicate, it's predicative. Let's have examples. The old man had many dreams. There are 2 nouns in this sentence being modified by 2 adjectives. Old man and many dreams. Man and dreams are nouns and old and many are adjectives. Now notice the position of adjectives and nouns. The adjectives have come before the nouns they are modifying. So both these adjectives, old and many, are attributive. Now compare these examples with the next one. The man was old. It's the same adjective and the same noun, but now the position has changed. In this sentence, the noun comes first and the adjective comes later. Man is the noun and old is adjective. The man was old, and the adjective old in this sentence is also a part of the predicate. So old in this second sentence, the man was old, is a predicative adjective. This is the difference between attributive and predicative adjectives. The old man and his dreams reminds me of a beautiful couplet. आरज़ुओं का हजूम और ये ढलती हुई उम्र, सांस उखड़ती है न जंजीरे हवस टूटती है. I hope you don't mind these occasional bits of poetry. And now, the degrees of adjective. There are 3. Positive, comparative, and superlative. Positive degree of adjective is used with nouns simply to indicate that the noun has got that quality in it. Comparative degree is used to compare two nouns. And superlative degree is used to mark out a noun in a group of three or more. The regular way of making comparative and superlative degrees is addition of er and est when the adjective is a shorter word. It mostly consists of a single syllable, like hard, harder, hardest, short, shorter, shortest, hot, hotter, hottest, etc. When the adjective consists of more than one syllable, when it's a longer word, mostly multiple syllables, we add more and most to make comparative and superlative degrees, like beautiful, more beautiful, and most beautiful. In some cases, all the three degrees are different. They are special cases, like good, better, best, little, less, and least. They are very small in number. We'll now have examples of degrees of adjectives in sentences. Chintu is a tall boy. This adjective tall is in positive degree because in this sentence, it's modifying noun boy. No comparison is taking place. It's simply indicating that the noun boy has got this quality in it. Look at the next example. Mintu is taller than Chintu. Now a comparison between two nouns, Mintu and Chintu, is taking place, and we have used the comparative degree of adjective tall. Look at the next example. Bantu is the tallest boy in the class. Now the comparison is not between two. It's in a group of three or more. The class consists of at least 3 students or more than 3 students. So Bantu is being compared with all of them, and we have used superlative degree of adjective tall. We must remember that superlative degree of adjective takes definite article the with it. And now I'm going to share a tip with you that will help you a lot in identification of adjectives. Most of the words ending with ious, eous, ous, ive, able, ible, ful, less, al, etc. are adjectives. Remember that these are just broad patterns. I'm not suggesting that every adjective will end with these letter combinations. There are adjectives which don't end with these letter combinations. And there is another important point, that words ending with these letters are mostly adjectives when these letter combinations have been added to another root word to make a new word. Let's have examples. Conscious, courageous, dangerous, selective, mentionable, despicable, edible, horrible, terrible, beautiful, orderless, colorless, electrical, financial, critical. You must have noticed that most of these words have been made out of other root words. Courageous is from courage. Dangerous is from danger. Selective is from select. We have added these letter combinations to make new words, and these new words, whenever you observe such patterns, the new words will be adjectives. Dear students, noun modification is the basic job of adjectives. They are the largest group of noun modifiers, yet there are at least 4 other kinds of noun modifiers. They are not basically adjectives, yet they do the work of adjectives. So let's take a brief look at them as well. Other than adjectives, the first noun modifiers, they are possessives. Possessive case of noun and pronoun. My house. My is the possessive case of personal pronoun I. Indicates the possession of house, modifies it. We have said it time and again that possessive case of noun and pronoun of any kind, they are noun modifiers. Your car. Another example of pronoun in possessive case. Osama's clothes. Noun plus apostrophe s. Noun in possessive case. So whether it's a noun or a pronoun, whenever it's in possessive case, it shows the possession of another noun. It's noun modifier. Her brother's office. Her is showing the possession of brother. So her is also in possessive case, noun modifier, modifying brother. And brothers, noun apostrophe s, is showing the possession of another noun, office. So both these pronoun and noun, both these possessives, her and brothers, they are noun modifiers. Articles are also noun modifiers. Both definite and indefinite articles, a car and an elephant, are and an are examples of indefinite article, and the is the only definite article in English language, and they're always used with nouns, and they are noun modifiers. The next type of noun modifier is participle, also known as participle adjectives. Participles are the participle forms of verbs, both present participle and past participle, behaving like adjectives in sentences or in phrases. They are called noun modifiers. Like in this example, fried eggs. Fried is the past participle form of verb fry, yet in this phrase, nobody is frying anything. It has not been used as a verb in this phrase. It has been used with a noun, eggs, and it's telling us, it's showing a quality of the noun eggs. So, as a qualifying word, it has become a noun modifier, and here we'll call it participle or participle adjective. In flying saucer, flying is the present participle form of verb fly, yet nobody is flying anything, nothing is flying here. Flying is a qualifying word. It tells us a quality of the noun saucer. So, participle or participle adjective. Same is the case with barking dogs. Dogs is noun, and barking, we are not saying that the dogs are barking or the dog is barking here. In this phrase, in this particular structure, barking has been used as a word to indicate a quality of a noun. So, it's also a noun modifier. So, in simple words, first form of the verb plus ing, we call it present participle form of the verb, or third form, also known as past participle form of the verb. Whenever they start behaving like adjectives in phrases and sentences, we call them noun modifiers. The next type of noun modifier is the noun itself. We have already learnt the concept in rules of nouns. They are also called possessive case of noun without apostrophe s. Even if they are possessive case, they are slightly different because there is no apostrophe s. Look at the examples. Tree tops. Tree is modifying tops. Flower petals. Flower is modifying petals. Shoelaces. Shoe is modifying laces. Tea time. Tea is the modifier of noun time. Tablecloth. Table is the modifier of cloth. Door handle. Door is modifying handle. It's very common in English language for nouns to behave as noun modifiers. They are used with other nouns and behave like adjectives. They modify those other nouns, and we call them noun modifiers. And here I have put all the types of noun modifiers on a single slide with new examples. You can go through the examples yourselves. This was simply to consolidate the concept, to put it together. And now is the activity time. You have to tell what kind of adjectives are the underlined words in these sentences. Take your time, pause the video here, attempt this activity and write your answers on a plain piece of paper or in your notebook. The answer key is following. After completing the activity, you'll play the video again and you'll consult the answer key to check how many of your answers are correct. And here's the answer key. I hope you've done well. I hope all of your answers are correct. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.